The 5 basic skills in basketball. Dribbling. Movements involve flexion and extension of the elbow and wrists. Shooting. Movements involved flexion and extension of elbow, wrists, and knee, and dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Passing. Chest pass, passing the ball on level with the chest. Movements involved flexion and extension of elbow and ulnar deviation. Overhead pass, passing the ball from above the head. Movements involve arm abduction and ulnar deviation. Bounce pass, passing the ball from the chest to the floor. Movements involved flexion and extension of elbow and ulnar deviation. Rebounding. Movements involve flexion and extension of the knee and elbow, dorsiflexion, and plantar flexion. Defense. Movements involved elbow extension, arm abduction and adduction, flexion and extension of hip, and dorsiflexion. The 5 basic skills in volleyball. Serve. Movement involved extension and flexion of elbow, horizontal abduction and abduction. For you to be able to serve, you need to extend your hand with the ball, flex the other hand, strongly hit the ball. receive. Movements involve flexion and extension of knee, extension of elbow, dorsiflexion, hip flexion, and extension. For you to be able to receive a good ball, you need to bend your hip, your knees, and extend your arms forward. After that, slowly push the ball upward. Set. Movements involve knee flexion and extension, dorsiflexion, arm abduction, elbow extension, and ulnar deviation. For you to be able to have a good set, you need to bend your hips and knees and extend your arms upward and toss the ball with your hand. Spiking. Movement involved elbow and knee flexion and extension, arm abduction and adduction, wrist flexion and hip flexion and extension. For you to be able to get a good spike, you need an approach. First is you step large, medium to small. So large, medium, and small. While in the air, extend your other hand while the other hand is flexing. For you to be able to hit the ball, you need to extend the flexed arm. Blocking. Movements involved elbow, hip, and knee flexion and extension, arm abduction, dorsiflexion, and plantar flexion. For you to be able to block the opponent's spike, you need to cross the other foot over the other foot, bend your hips and knees, and extend your arms upward. The 5 basic skills in badminton. Serve. Movements involved flexion and extension of the arms, ulnar deviation, and dorsiflexion. Stroke. Movements involved arm adduction and abduction, elbow extension, wrist and hip flexion and extension. Smash. Movements involved circumduction, elbow extension, knee and wrist flexion. Defensive stance. Movements involved hip flexion, elbow extension, and wrist flexion. Footwork. Movements involved inversion and eversion, knee flexion and extension. Thank you for watching.